Hi, it's Matthew here from Simply Spanish Wine, and welcome to another tasting video. Today we're going to be looking at a wine from Casar de Burbia in Godello Barrica, up in the northwest corner of Castile and Leon, and it's the Godello Barrica, the barrel fermented Godello from Godello Barrica. Now, barrel fermentation is a bit of a luxury. It's a rather nice thing to have. It means that the wine has, instead of being fermented in stainless steel tanks, is actually fermented in 500 and 600 litre French oak barrels, and that gives the wine lots of delicious complexity and breadth in the palate, makes it taste a lot sort of richer and fuller. And this wine is made from 100% estate-grown Godello grapes, which is a good thing because it means the winemaker supervises all stages of the winemaking process, from the vineyard right through to the finished product. And these wines have been manually harvested, as all the wines from the Casar de Burbia estate are. And it's brought into the vineyard, and it goes into the wooden barrels for fermentation. And once fermentation is complete, it then stays in the barrel for about 7 months on its lees, aging a little bit more. Then it goes back into stainless steel tanks and stays there for a bit more. So by the time the wine is actually bottled, it's been aging for about 19 months. So that's a long time to really gain in complexity. Pour ourselves a glass. First of all, when we taste the wine, we look at the colour. This is a lovely pale golden colour, nice and clear. It's an organic wine. All the grapes on the estate are farmed organically since 2019. In fact, all of the wines have been officially labelled organic. Give it a nice whiff. Again, there's lots of nice tropical fruit in there. A little bit of peach, a little bit of pear, perhaps. Touch of grapefruit. And there's also some minerality in there, which I know it's a much sort of argued term in wine tasting. Minerality. Can you actually taste the stones in the soil in the wine? But remember, this is a wine from the higher plots, from the Valdepiñeiro plot, which is a 5.5 hectare plot, and it's relatively high. We're talking about vines that have been grown at about 600 meters above sea level, and in Bierzo, those are really the sort of medium to high plots. One of the characteristics in Bierzo, a lot of wine growers, sort of 10 or 15 years ago, they moved down to the valley floor to buy up vineyards, because that's where you could get lots of high yield. And the savvy winemakers went high, and with climate change, that was, with hindsight, that was an even cleverer move, because it means you're getting freshness in the vineyard, which is exactly what you want. And these are stonier soils. The more clay-based soils are lower down. They tend to give broader wines. The stonier soils higher up tend to give more direct wines, more mineral-based wines. That's a real burst of tropical fruit on the palate. Delicious. It's quite a broad wine on the palate. Nice acidity on the side of the tongue there. It's got some of that tropical fruit that we could pick up on the nose. We're still getting that in the palate. The acidity is there. It's got a nice, let's say, medium to long finish, so the wine stays with you in the mouth for quite a long time after you've swallowed it, which is good. It's good. Gives you good value, if you like. The wine doesn't just dissipate as soon as you've drunk it, but the memory of it stays with you in the mouth. Just worth saying something perhaps about barrel-aged wines, and because often barrel-aged wines are more expensive than wines that haven't been aged in a barrel. And one of the reasons for that is, of course, because the wines are actually sitting in the winery, taking up space in the winery for a long time, which is a challenge for the winery, but it's good for us as consumers, because it means that when the wines are actually released, they've been aged in the winery. We don't have to buy the wines and then find somewhere to set them down and store and look after them for a year or 18 months until we can drink them. The wines are ready to drink. They've already been aged, in this case, for about 19 months inside the winery. If we want to hang on to them for a few months, a year, they're only going to get better and better. Godello is a grape that ages very well. But But we don't have to do that. We could drink these immediately. But that's one of the reasons why price is often higher for barrel-aged wines. It's a bit like in Rioja. When you buy a Reserva or a Gran Reserva, you're buying a wine that's been potentially sitting in the winery for 2 or 3 years, taking up space. So the winery has to factor all of that into its planning. And if you like, it can't charge the wine rent for taking up space in the winery, but it can pass some of that cost on to us, the consumer. But again, that ultimately is to our benefit, because we're getting a wine that is in tip-top condition and ready to drink right now. So there we are. That's the Godello, barrel fermented Godello from Casar de Burbia, the 2019 vintage. That's available on Simply Spanish Wine now. A wonderful example of barrel fermented Godello. If you like Chardonnay, and if you like your Chardonnay with a bit of oak on it, give this a try. Again, this has been fermented in French oak, sat on its lees for a good long time. It's really taken on some of the flavours of the wood in there. Give it a try. If you're a Chardonnay fan, Godello is a really good step up into the world of Spanish white wine. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.